Welcome back, everyone, to MLE Esports presented by APM Music. We just had an amazing first series. Me and Captain Itsuka are back, and I didn't know how we're gonna be able to recover and go on to this next series.
Not sure, but there's only one way to do it, and that's to get to it. So let's talk about what we're going into next. We're going to be going towards the Premier League now. So we're going to be seeing possibly some more fast-paced plays and a little bit more aggression coming from these two teams. And we have the Wolves going up against the Puffins. I don't know how scared I would be of an actual Puffin, but I hear the Puffins in MLE are nothing to wave a stick at. So let's take a look here. We got the Wolves right now, number 1 in the Arctic Division, and then the Puffins are number 2. So how are these two teams stacking up stat-wise? Like, what are you seeing right now?
I mean, not just stat-wise. I mean, just going off it. I mean, the Wolves right now have been ranked number 1 in the league on the power rankings. That could just say enough. And the Puffins also are up there in the top 10. I mean, they've had a little bit of roster moves, adding Perma to their lineup, which was a star-studded move. I mean, Perma's been amazing. Right now, he leads the MVPR and OMVPR stat category. Only 10 games played, of course, so you do have to take that into account. But again, in these 2 series he's played, he's been a stud, and Moloko is definitely excited to have him, because Moloko, as great of an offensive presence he is, he does like having a good teammate.
Yeah, and then, just looking at the Wolves here, it says that the Wolves will secure the division this week, even if they lose 2-3. So all they got to do is get a 2-3 loss or better, and they're still in the good to secure the division. So it's looking really well going for the Wolves into this matchup against the Puffins. And that being said, with the Puffins cannot take the lead of the division this week, but in order to stay in the division race, they need a 4-1 win or better.
And going into the, later playoffs, again, the Puffins are not secured, obviously, with the Wolves leading their division. They will be secured with a playoff spot. They've already have confirmed a playoff spot, but again, division will be a different matter, of course. But again, we're going to now the Puffins side. They're going to be trying to secure a playoff spot. Only team behind them right now is the Foxes, who is really preventing them. So as long as they win 2 more games than the Foxes win this week, then they will secure their playoff spot. So right now, 92 to 93% chance for them to make it, which is really good in their favor. So right now, it's just going to be seeing which team's going to be crazier, which one's going to make the better plays, and it's going to be super excited to watch.
And get ready to get hype and get excited in the chat, because we are already underway, and it's going to be Moloko that's going to take this one down to the middle, and there's Perma with the answer there as Perma goes up and high with some nice aerials going on there, but is met, and it's going to go right back the other way into the half there, and it's met by Moloko again. Perma in the middle, getting the pass there, slowing things down, trying to get the swish and flick over to the side, and it goes right in. Perma is going to score first, and it's going to be 1-0 in favor of the Puffins.
And I will say, this is an offensive prowess of players. I mean, all 4 players on this field are in the top 10 for OMVPR and MVPR. They are all studs to play against. I mean, you could tell by their titles, you could tell by their salaries. I mean, this is going to be a high-paced lobby, a lot of scoring, and we see it there with Perma, who opens the scoring.
Yep, and we are underway now. It's going to be Moloko is going to take this one out into the corner, looking for trying to just get the cross clear there, and has managed to get it as this one goes right back down, and it's going to be Lottie Lettuce who's going to shut down that advance, as Lottie Lettuce now gets past not 1 but 2 defenders, but Moloko is there to backtrace and take control there, and Lottie Lettuce just not giving up on the ball at all as Moloko gets the touch down to Perma, and Perma getting met with the 50-50 in the midfield as this one goes the other way, and Lottie Lettuce gets a full tank of boost, looking for the teammate there, but it gets denied as this one goes back into the half, and Lottie Lettuce with the back challenge, still maintaining control. A lot of pressure coming from Lottie Lettuce.
And I will say, while Matt may be the lower player in this lobby, him and Lottie have such a great connection. They've played on the same team for multiple seasons. The chemistry has always been there, so they'll be looking for each other. They know how to play along and get great team plays. But it's going to be really going to see how the Puffins are going to prevent them, because so far they've really been on top of it and really controlling the pace of this game.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I've played against Perma a few times, not just in ranked, but I'm pretty sure I met him in a tournament as well. So I know this player is an OG and knows a few tricks, a few old tricks as well, that I'm waiting to see come pop off, and already 1-0 in favor of the Puffins. So let's see if they can keep that momentum going as Perma takes control now and gets dunked on by Lottie Lettuce, but it's not enough to find the back of the net as Maloka is going to get demoed by Matt Orachi, and Perma taking control in the air now, trying to get the dunk on Matt, but it's no good. Matt recovers the save.
And again, pressure mounting for this Puffins lineup. I feel like I want to see a little bit more control, looking for each other a bit more by the Wolves. Because right now, I just feel like the Puffins have just been solo playing their way through, and it's working beautifully as now Light trying to get something going, not going to work out. And Puffins, again, unscathed.
Yeah, but this one is staying inside the Puffins half right now. The Wolves are doing a really good job of keeping control and keeping pressure on the defense of the Puffins and just keeping the ball in their half, a beautiful amount of control, but now going the other way as Matt is going to try and get this one off the backboard, followed up and on target. It's going to go in for Maloka.
Malako, man, he is a striker. I don't think I've been more intimidated from like someone who can shoot the ball than Malako, because his accuracy is unmatched. I mean, he's able to put a placement anywhere that you're not expecting it, and again, it works beautifully. Pulls that bomb right corner. No one plays Lottie, could not reach, and the lead extends to 2.
I'm just going to apologize in advance. I did not know how to pronounce that player's name. Malako, is that what you said?
Malakoa.
Malakoa. All right, I am corrected, and now I can stop butchering somebody's name. And this one is going to go down to Perma. Perma gets the save as this one goes out into the side. A nice fly there. Back down into the corner, and a beautiful would-be pass, but Lottie Lettuce was there to read it, and a nice flick off the back of the dummy and saved by Malakoa as this one goes back down into the middle. A fast break opportunity is going to go off the side wall and is met by Lottie Lettuce as Perma gets a nice touch and a powerful banger going up high. Met again by Matt as Malaroka now trying to get a score here, and a follow-up from Perma. It's going to go in. We're 3-0 in favor of the Puffins.
And I mean, I just feel like right now the Puffins have done a lot more with their challenges and shooting opportunities than the Wolves has, I mean. And definitely seeing it here, we see a great setup by Malako. He gets a beautiful challenge out of Lottie, not able to get the clear he was looking for, and Perma's just like, hey, thank you very much, I'll take this and increase the lead to 3. And I mean, for the number 1 team in the league, the Wolves are struggling.
Yeah, and you know, it's still, I see this all the time in tournaments. I see this all the time when, you know, we're playing leagues like this. It's those first games, kind of like you're feeling a little rusty. You got to shake the cobwebs off. So, you know, it's just the two teams getting acclimated to each other. So I don't plan, but I'm expecting to see the Wolves have a huge turnaround in game number 2. Not saying that this game is over, just saying that we're going to see a lot more action come from the Wolves in game number 2 than we have in game number 1. And with that being said, it's Perma sending this one the other way, and Malakoa with a beautiful dunk. Perma there all by himself and is just going to tap this one in. 4-0 now.
Great read from Malako. He gets the pre-jump dunk on Matt, and it just feels like time and time again the Wolves are getting outpaced on their own field. I mean, they were the team that was favored coming to this match. And, you know, all they need is only a 2-3 loss, but looking at it, the Puffs are saying, hey, no, we want this division, not just you.
Yeah, it's starting to look like the Wolves are going to have to work actually pretty hard, and the Puffins are going to do everything they can to make them sweat a little bit more than they have to. Malakoa in the corner now, taking control. Nice little air dribble here, going out into the side and met 50-50, and also meets Perma out there. Hey, how you doing? Nice little tap as Perma takes control into the corner. Just really running out the clock now, going for some flippery doodahs and resets and fill-up touches. Why not? As we hit the 10-second mark, this one is just going to count right on down. 5 seconds to go in a 4-0 victory, looking to be in favor of the Puffins.
And I mean, I was actually wondering, going into this season, what team, when you have a league like Premier League, as the Wolves get a little stationary goal at the end there, what makes you wonder, what are we going to, like, how will rosters change throughout a season? Because again, with no rank outs for Premier League, everyone will always be on their team for the whole season unless there's either conflicts internally or players that just don't have the time for it and they have to drop. And it kind of made me wonder what teams are going to have the best roster moves of the season. And right now, the Puffins have definitely one of the best. Replacing Cali with a strong striker of Perma was definitely a star-studded move. And I think even though they might be going into the playoffs as a wild card due to the Wolves' success, doesn't take away that they're going to be a force to reckon with.
Yeah, and just looking at these stats here, breaking down these two teams so far, like I said, I expect the Wolves to come back in a major way in game number 2 just because I know with those game 1 jitters, the game can kind of like leave from you a little bit, lose a little bit of that control. But once you start to warm up a little bit and, you start shaking off some of that rust, you start to build some confidence. So I'm hoping to see the Wolves answer back in game number 2. But just looking what we got right now, I got to say, I love the pass plays coming from Malakoa, because we already know that Perma's going to be hitting offensively. He's going to be hitting the backboard, and he's going to be hitting the back of the net. So if you know that your teammate is going to pop off, just feed him the ball as much as you can. And then, if need be, just return the favor for Perma and, maybe throw a couple passes Malakoa's way. But so far, the offense and the chemistry is just clicking between Perma and Malakoa.
And definitely, to say the least, going into this rest of the series, everyone was thinking the Wolves would be coming out fast. They have the chemistry. They have all these connections that really helps them go in the right direction. But so far, Puffins just really dominating on their opportunities. They're scoring when they need to. While the Wolves really struggle, they only got a goal as kind of a consolation prize, but they might get their first legit one here. Great save from Perma. And game 2 is going to be very interesting to see how the Wolves respond.
Yep, and this is the chance. This is it right now. Let's see if they can get it done. It's going to be Matt who gets the 50-50 there in the midfield, and now Lottie Lettuce trying to make something happen there with a little bit of no boost, but tries to get the late flick there, but it's going to be no good as Malakoa is going to take control with a little boost on the side wall, and it's going to be Matt who gets the touch there. Malakoa with a beautiful touch, and Perma there to just get the finishing touch on that one, even with a little bit of and one demo.
If you want a player who you want to rely on in the midfield, ask Malako. He's a choose genius. He always knows where both defenders are, even if they're not in his peripheral view. He has a mental picture of where everyone is on the map, and as a result, he says, I know I'm going to be able to beat the defender to this if I rush it. And as a result, he gets a beautiful beat and setup for his teammate, and now the lead again, back in the side of the Puffins.
It just seems like, just so far within these first 2 series, it's not even a minute gone, and we have a 2-0 lead in favor of the Puffins. And what I'm seeing, this is just from observation, it's as though that the Puffins have the Wolves completely dialed up. They are matching their responses as they're unfolding in real time. As soon as the Wolves start to make a move, it's like the Puffins are one step ahead of them almost every time, just knocking things down, having people in the right position before they're even needed there. So I don't know what the Wolves are going to have to do to counterattack this Puffins team that is just clicking so well on offense.
Definitely will be intriguing to see how they respond, but again, Puffins just dominating time and time again. Try against me. It was a great save from Matt, but not what they need to come back.
Yep, Lottie Lettuce now taking control in the midfield, and Malakoa gets demoed, but almost gets the and one goal there as this one goes out into the side, and Perma answers right back with the follow-up all the way from the corner. It's Perma.
And this is what makes him a great player, is when you can rely on yourself to do all the scoring, and I think that's what's really the difference between these two teams. Both Perma and Malakoa can make their own scoring opportunities, while the Wolves have to rely a bit more on each other to get opportunities.
So what do you think so far momentum-wise? If you're the Wolves and you only need a 2-3 loss, but so far it's not looking like it's going your way, what do you do to get some of that momentum back as Malakoa extends the lead and increases the momentum for the Puffins?
Going back to what you said, what they need to do right now, you have momentum, and this is not just a statement game. You don't have Taki playing, who most people would say is the second best player on this roster, while you're playing against the Puffins, A+ lineup, while you need to. Again, Wolves, number 1 team in the league. Everyone wants to see how they're going to play, and really how they'll play when it comes to playoffs. Who, again, no one knows the story, but Lottie Lettuce and Matt Roshi played last season in the Premier League Grand Final before the salary system was changed. And as a result, they ended up losing the Grand Finals to a team that had 2 high-level players. So again, this is kind of just reminding me a lot of that series where they just feel outpaced, outmatched. And again, the momentum, the only way they're going to get momentum back, as you ask, is going to be when they can get something going as a team. I don't think as an individual they will have a chance to match up against this Puffins duo. But if they are able to connect, they can definitely make a statement.
That definitely sounds like one of the more articulated analyses that I've ever heard so far in MLE. I have to applaud you, sir. You are indeed a scholar of the rocket knowledge, and I applaud you once again. Lottie Lettuce getting devoured there as Lottie Lettuce gets demoed, and a nice answer there from Matt with the double dunk there on Malakoa, and it's Perma who's going to pick this one up and send it back into the Wolves' den as this one goes over into the side and back now into the Puffins' I assume nest for birds, and Puffin is a bird, and Malakoa getting a dribble there, but is met by Matt Rachi as this one goes up and to the side, up but nice and high for Perma, and a banger is going to be met by Lottie Lettuce, who sends this one to the middle and followed up again, coming off the backboard. It goes Perma, and it falls into the back of the net once again.
I mean, it's impossible this pace. Perma's up the second Malakoa hits this. He doesn't even need to hit the backboard, and Lottie Lettuce has no chance to get to this. This is just showing the pace of these teams is just not even close. The Puffins are on another level of speed to the Wolves.
Not only that, but I love their predictions. They're able to predict where the ball is going to be and then meet it there right when they need to. Ultimate opportunity is being taken advantage of, and again, just rolling with the punches here, and literal punches coming off that demo play. That was just textbook demo meta. Gets the flick over one player and then takes out the remaining defender. Wide open net for Perma.
And I mean, right now, the Puffins are not just only affecting the viewers' minds, it's going to affect other teams when it comes to later in this season. When they have a playoff matchup, they're going to try and get a little creative here. A great shot there, Lie with a save. But going into playoffs, you know, how are teams going to look at this? This isn't going to be a team where when you play them in a first round, a wild card, they're not going to be a team that you need to take lightly. It's definitely one that you got to worry about.
Right now, Lottie Lettuce taking advantage of what looked like somewhat of a defensive mishap. Not entirely sure what happened there, but that's going to be a goal in favor of the Wolves. Just under 2 minutes to go, and they are down 4 goals.
I like the fake, but again, it's the team plays. Team plays are what the Wolves thrive in. It's that chemistry that they've built for the many seasons and years they've played. And that's what they need to use in order to come back in this series. Stop relying on a solo play to get opportunities or clears. Work together, and I think that's what the Wolves, if they can pick that up, this series could definitely be flipped on its head.
Yeah, I mean, so far it looks like they're trying to do what you're talking about. You know, you got 2 assists. You know, the only 2 goals they had came off of 2 pass plays from Matt Rachi. So I feel like they're trying. They're just not getting it done. You know, they're not doing enough because the Puffins just have an answer to almost everything that the Wolves are throwing out. So hopefully, you know, we see more of a pickup, you know, as we've moved further into the series. But it's going to be Lottie Lettuce trying to backtrace a little bit, keeping this ball and keeping the pressure on the Puffins. But they are just holding the line there. And I've seen a lot of demo plays come from the Puffins, and they have been executing on the demo meta. Now we need some of the Wolves to get a little bit angry, get a little mean, start demoing some of these Puffins.
And definitely might be the play. I definitely feel like going off the Puffin success is just cutting off the Wolves before they can set anything up. You know, you watch, they're both players on the Wolves are rotating into positions to kind of get shot opportunities. And as a result, the Puffins are like, hey, no, we're going to cut you off before you even have a chance to set up. And it's just working beautifully because when they break those plays up before they even happen, the Wolves are just so out of position that the Puffins just get a quick counter.
Yep, now it's going to be Perma taking control in the back half of the Wolves side, and a beautiful last-second save from Matt. But it's going to be Malakoa who puts this one right back where it came from, has the receipt, and returns it into the net of the Wolves. A beautiful follow-up touch and shot from Malakoa.
I mean, I don't know much else there is to say. I mean, great shot from Malakoa. I mean, this pace from the Puffins is just not even close to where the Wolves are playing at. And I think it's just because their ability to turn on a dime for these shots is working beautifully. It's a great shot here. Perma extends it to 9. I just don't know what else to say except what a shot.
I mean, even they're just winning every single challenge. You can see the Wolves trying their best to contend and to challenge, but even when the Puffins are challenging the ball, it's still finding the back of the net. And then even if it didn't, Malakoa was right there and waiting. If it even missed, which it was still completely on target, but even if it wasn't, they had the backup plan. No matter what happened, that ball was finding the back of the net. And finally, we see a pulse from the Wolves, but is it too little, too late?
It definitely comes down to, as well, you know, like that 1-2 punch, as you said. You know, I mean, a lot of things in twos is that a lot of players try to do things by themselves and not rely on your teammate. But again, you can do that with your teammate if your teammate is playing a follow-up role. And that's what the Puffins have really established as with this duo, saying, hey, I'm going to take a really good shot first, most likely pull at least one defender out, and you're just going to finish it, clean it up for me. And again, we see it again here, another 1-2 punch from the Puffins.
I gotta break this one down a little bit. Okay, so he goes up, does a little backflip to how do you do. Was Matt Rachi caught up on the side, like looked like, you know, there was a little bit of interference there, maybe dodging a bump. I couldn't really tell, but
yeah,
it looked like
he actually, yep, Malakoa came in for a bump, cut him off, and instead, you know, leaves a wide open shot for Perma. And again, as I say, the 1-2 punch plays is just thriving with this lineup.
Yeah, I was about to say, because it looked like, you know, Matt had a good defensive chance, but just got, you know, kind of caught up in the back there. But as the time clicks away, that's going to be a 7-goal lead for the Puffins in game number 2. Now, I know it's not technically a Brazil, but it's still a 7-goal differential. Just saying.
I mean, that's definitely what we want to see. I mean, the Puffins are just saying, hey, you guys better be ready when playoffs come. Again, both these teams most likely will make playoffs, especially if the Puffins 5-0, they will be guaranteed their spot in the playoffs. But, I mean, you got to give a big, huge plus to this duo of Malakoa and Perma. I mean, their ability to work together is unmatched. Because when I played Malakoa a ton, Malakoa is one of those players where he kind of likes to work on his own, make his own opportunities, and just not rely on a teammate. And as a result, it just feels like with Perma, he's been lights out. He's saying, hey, I'm going to set you up. I'm going to create my own opportunities. And this is a duo where I just don't see a weakness right now.
I gotta say, I mean, I'm absolutely flabbergasted at Malakoa's performance. Look at this, 8 goals in participation, but 4 goals just scored by himself, and then 4 assists coming off of that. Just insane amount of pass plays coming from the Puffins, and then Perma got 2 pass plays of his own. Nice assists going there, and I love like the back and forth and communication and being able to capitalize off each other's touches. Just, you know, it's just beautiful to see. I love pass plays, and you'll hear me say it a million times that pass plays win the games. So now, you know, I just really hope the Wolves turn it around because I want to see some closer games.
And I thought it would be going close coming in, but again, I think not having Taki is definitely a big minus for the Wolves. Again, Matt Rochi's a great player, but I think mechanically wise, he's getting a little outmatched in this match, in this clash. And, you know, what makes Matt Rochi so good is his chemistry with Lottie Lettuce. But since the Puffins aren't allowing him to get anything set up, it's kind of like he can't even get anything going. He's really just caught in the sand.
Right, and now we're underway, and yet another game goes on. We got 4 minutes and 40 on the clock. It's Malakoa going up off the back wall there, and a nice touch over to Matt Rachi, as Matt Rachi is going to be going up the side wall now with a nice flick, as this one is met by Perma into the corner now for Malakoa, met by Lottie Lettuce, and a nice touch from Perma, and the follow-up just not good enough. Need to eat a little bit more vegetables, maybe some more spinach in your diet, because that shot was a little weak.
And definitely a missed opportunity. It would have been probably the first time we saw the Wolves get a lead here, and Matt Rochi just does not take a strong shot, and as a result, big chance out the window, because I felt like Puffins are going to be a team that really won't thrive when they're down, and definitely going to be a way to help out.
Yep, good attempt there by Matt Rachi. Just heard what I said. It's like, no, I got strong shots too, but Perma was there to get the defense done and get the save. But I will applaud so far. I think this is the longest so far that the Wolves have managed to hold off this Puffin offense, and the score remains 0-0.
Definitely for sure, but as I say that, Perma, oh my, with almost a beautiful read off the crossbar. Kind of made a little bet with them to see who would have the best goal this game, as, you know, this Puffins duo is very known being a little flashy, and they try to get a good one there, but not working out.
And a nice touch there from Perma, and a nice touch out by Matt Rachi. Lottie Lettuce now has an opportunity. A nice dribble move, looked like an attempted tornado flick maybe, but not sure what they were going for there. It's Perma with the counterattack. Nice touch up there, sending this one into the Puffins half. Approaching 3 minutes, and we are scoreless still, as Perma gets this touch out into the corner, gets one over Lottie Lettuce, but not past Matt Rachi, as this one goes up high, and it gets fed out into the corner, and now into the Wolves half. Perma doing something, I'm not sure what.
Kind of feels like the Puffins are getting a little too fancy. I know they're trying to get creative now that they have such a great lead. They've been really dominating this team. But now I think Perma's getting a little too fancy with his touches, a little too creative. And as a result, I would not be surprised if the Wolves get a cheeky win as a great goal from Lottie.
And what could be almost a monumental shift in momentum They are managed to finally take the lead against the Puffins. It's a 1-0 lead, and we're approaching the half, but this could be exactly what the Wolves need to turn the momentum back into their favor as we approach halftime, and we are once again underway as Lottie Lettuce is going to get the kickoff there and win it as this one goes back to Perma in the corner. Perma showing off some beautiful air control and is met by Matt Rachi as the ball finds its way back down to Lottie Lettuce. A nice pass to the side and a double commit coming from the Puffins as Matt Rachi is going to scramble back on defense as Lottie Lettuce is able to clear this one out of the danger just for a little while longer as this one falls right back into the net. We are tied again.
And what pace by Perma. He realizes that touch from Lottie way before anyone else does. And with that beautiful double jump boost touch, he just beats out Matt Roche again, who was just a little lacking to the ball. And again, now it's just going to come down to Matt Roche. I felt like, again, he's been really this X factor that's been hurting the Wolves' success this series. I think just because their ability for the Wolves to not be able to hook up with their team plays, he's just been really lost on the field. And I think, especially after those two missed opportunities at the beginning of the game, he's been pretty quiet.
Yep, Malakoa now showing some nice control off the back wall, gets past one oppressor there, and it's going to be Malakoa again, gets demoed, leaving an open net for Matt Rachi, and that's going to be a goal, and it's going to be a 1-goal lead for the Wolves.
And I love this play from Lottie. I mean, he realizes, hey, I have nothing to lose if I go for a demo here. Notices Perma's out net, and he's saying, right now my positioning's better than Malakoa's is. I can tell he's awkward, so if I just get a demo, there's no way there's going to be a chance for him to get a save. And Matt Roche, that trust in his teammate to get a weak shot just works beautifully.
Yeah, and we've seen the Puffins do a whole bunch of demoing, but Perma with a whole bunch of air dribbling. What a nice form coming off the sidewall, carries this one the whole way through, past one defender, and then a pass Lottie Lettuce sitting in the net there and gets a little bit of a love tap on the way in, and we are tied again.
And I mean, hey, Play of the Week nominations right here in this series. I definitely think this is one of the better series that we can get these nominations in. So if you'd like a clip, just clip it and put it in our Discord chat. Definitely going to be very intriguing to see what crazy goals we can see here as Burma goes for another one. Save from Lottie, and the momentum now kind of back in the favor of the Puffins.
Still tied 2-2 as this ball meets its way into the middle, and going out to the side now is Matt Rachi with a questionable flip there, a little bit of a mistouch, but recovers the demo. It could make something happen, and they're just off target. It's Lottie Lettuce who's gonna get again devoured in the corner by Malakoa, and this one's gonna go the other way. That felt like a missed opportunity.
Definitely a miss when Lottie got a little panicky. But again, when you're playing a team at such a fast pace as the Puffins, you get really panicky on your touches, rushing a lot more shots and clears than you're used to. And it's been really against the team, as I thought Matt missed that one too. But luckily gets it on target, and the Wolves regain the lead.
I am just so happy to see the Wolves answering back in such a major way. This is the third time now in this game that they have taken the lead against the Puffins, and the Puffins have seemed like they've been in control of the entire series. And now the Wolves, like we said, only need 2 wins, and they can start right here. A beautiful touch from Lottie Lettuce going on target, but it's going to be Malakoa who gets the save. Perma now sending this down into the Wolves' territory, and Matt Rachi is going to send this one back to Malakoa. Malakoa now with a nice swish and flick, but not enough to get past Lottie Lettuce, as Lottie Lettuce gets another nice 50-50, but passes it to no teammate. Matt Rachi is sitting in the backfield.
Oh, and I love these cuts by the Wolves. They're really not allowing the Puffins to get a setup, as a straight shot from Perma to get the equalizer. As I was saying, the Wolves we're doing such a great job at preventing the Puffins from setting up, but unfortunately a touch from Lottie causes it to go up in the backboard and just causes things to collapse.
Yep, 3-3 now, 15 seconds to go. It's still doable for the Wolves. They just have to answer back yet again. Matt Rachi going up high, getting one past Perma as this one falls down to Malakoa. And now Matt Rachi shot on target, and Matt gets them the goal they need to take the lead with 6 seconds left on the clock.
And we wanted to see something from Matt. He's been so quiet on offense this series. Had a few missed opportunities. And this last 2 goals, he said, hey, I'm such a good player. I don't want to hear y'all saying that I might be the lower salary in this lobby. And he makes a big go-ahead goal, as all they have to do is close it out. Lottie with the best opportunity to do it. And they will close it out. Wolves get a huge goal win, and they're only 1 away from the division.
I got to give a little bit of a slow pantomime clap for the Wolves. Way to turn it around, especially after the first of the two, for lack of a better word, devastating games. The lead differential was just insane, a 7-goal differential last game, but to be able to take that kind of a loss and turn it around and be able to, put that one into the back of your mind and not let it affect you going into the next match, hats off to you. Well done, and I'm so glad the Wolves answer back. Now they only need one more win to get that minimum of a 2-3 loss that they were looking for going into this series.
Yeah, big division clinching, game coming up. Yeah, they have 2 opportunities to do it, and I mean they're in the best position. I think the Puffins got a little greedy, played a little too much with their food, and as a result, the Wolves were like, "Hey, don't treat us lightly. We're still the number 1 team in this league." As said by the peers, and I think they're definitely having a bit more momentum. So the Puffins, they might go back to their game 1 and 2 strats, not be as fancy, and I don't know if the Wolves see if they can pull it again.
What I want to see from the Wolves is more of those demos and bump plays. Like, get that aggression going. You're Wolves. Let's act like it. Like, we've seen the Puffins execute demos perfectly, and the Wolves finally pick up a win, and it's off of some of these key demo plays. So the Wolves, it's now time to go Puffin hunting. Go get these demo plays and go get yourself that win and get your team what they need to secure that division that you were looking for. But Malakawa is going to score first, and already it's going to be a 1-goal lead. Just 6 seconds gone, and it's a 1-goal lead for the Puffins.
And again, I think what we're going to see from the Puffins is saying, okay, we can't mess around with this team. This is not a team that's like the Foxes or the Sabres or the lower-end teams in this division or in this league. They got to take every game seriously, and I think now they're going to be like, okay, we got a little too fancy. Let's slow down. Let's do what we were good at in the first 2 games and play smart. And I think that's what we're going to see a lot in this game number 4.
Yep, already seeing a demo come out, from the Puffins on to the Wolves now. I guess the Puffins will be going wolf hunting as this one goes out into the side, and it's going to be Matt Rachi who's going to take control now, and a nice midfield pass to Lotta Lettuce, but Perma has had enough lettuce. That's going to be a shutdown with the save on top. Malakawa is going to hit this one up to Matt Rachi as Matt Rachi out into the side now looks for the midfield pass, but it's shut down yet again, and it's the Puffins defense that will hold.
And again, it goes back to what I said earlier about the Puffins. They're just so good at breaking up these plays that the Wolves try to set up before they even start. And I mean, again, if you're playing a team with such good chemistry and team plays, that's how you do it. Don't even give them much opportunity to set anything up. And it's working here great as they have the lead with 1 minute in.
Yep, and now a nice shot there, followed up, but it's a lot of lettuce. It's going to be holding up on the defensive half, and now Matt Rachi sitting in net. Could be a missed position there, but holds up against the 50-50. Perma is going to put this one towards the backboard, and Lottie Lettuce is going to take this one down, and Perma there to meet it again. Absolute control from the midfield, and control of the ball, an impressive dribble, but not enough to get past the Wolves' defense.
But again, pressure still mounting in this blue half. It feels like they're really stuck on defense. Again, maybe more a non-boost issue because, again, both of these players for the Wolves are great with their boost management. But again, I just feel like the pace, again, is starting to go back to what we saw in the previous games besides game number 3. And I think the Puffins are really feeling the way to come back.
Yeah, Matt Rachi with an unfortunate touch there as this one goes back towards the wall, losing a little bit of control as Perma goes up and knocks the ball loose. Malakawa now on the retreat along with Perma trying to scramble to get back to play the defense. Matt Rachi, a beautiful midfield pass, but it's Malakawa who plays this one off the back wall and sends it back to Lottie Lettuce. And then Malakawa again with a demo on Lottie Lettuce as this one goes to Matt Rachi, and a 50-50 met by Perma is going to keep this one on the ground, and a slow roller to Lottie Lettuce who goes up high, met by Malakawa again, and this defense is just holding solid for the Puffins.
Yeah, and again, opportunities just knocked away. They can't get anything set up without a Puffin player in their face. It's a great step opportunity here, one of the first they've had, but again, before even Matt can get an opportunity to flick it, Perma's already there.
And a nice bump play there from Malakawa, just putting a defender out of position as Perma is just waiting in the backfield for a touch opportunity. Matt Rachi now with the follow-up, answered by Perma, looking for an off-center shot was Lottie Lettuce, but it's going to be a little bit too wide as this one goes out into the side, and Lottie Lettuce still not giving up on the ball. The determination alone deserves an award for Lottie Lettuce as Matt Rachi goes up into the side again, and they're just going to leave this ball hanging for a little bit of time now, and a shutdown pass play will be no good as Malakoa gets the save.
But again, Wolves now starting to pick up momentum. I think they got a little bit of boost control now that we have not seen, but a double commit might ruin it for them, and Puffins might have a little bit of time to recoup. But now, Wolves definitely doing a lot better at getting these passing plays set up. They might be able to pick up what they did in game number 3, set up an attack, see if they can get it.
What's blowing my mind is this Iron Curtain defense goal line scenario that we're seeing from the Puffins, because there's been so many times that the Wolves have brought the ball literally at the line of the goal and just have not been able to get past the Puffins defense. Like, the Puffins are showing a lot of confidence in their abilities, and just like that, they take advantage. 2-0 now, just from being momentarily on the offensive side after playing such a large amount of defense.
And see, and this is just what's so hard of having two players who are mechanical geniuses, is that Malakoa, he gets a beautiful demo play onto Matt on the Lottie Lettuce, and as a result, Permanent's like, okay, I'm going to go for a fake flip reset, and pulls Matt Rochi so awkwardly at net, he has no way to recover, just showing that both players are just better than everyone.
I gotta say, is it Matt Rochi or Rochi? I'm sorry. I need to know. I don't want to be butchering people's names.
It's whatever works for you. It's again, Matt Rochi, Matt Rochi. He goes by both.
Okay, because I didn't want to call him a roach by accident. It's going to be a nice follow-up touch and a demo coming from Matt Rochi as this one goes out to the middle. And Matt Rochi gets squashed on that one as it's going to be Perma who picks up the demo. And this one going out into the middle, just 20 seconds to go. And it's looking all in favor of the Puffins. And a nice follow-up touch from Perma. And it's a Lottie Lettuce going out into the side as Malakoa gets that touch. And what is all but left but the crying as Perma gets the backwards reverse touch, and the clock just clicks all the way down.
I mean, again, big response for the Puffins. I think they finally were like, okay, we can't be creative. We just need to play smart and win this game. Luckily, a 2-goal lead will not allow for a 0-second goal to equalize. But again, maybe a little bit of momentum that the Wolves can use to win this game number 5, which will be crucial to decide this division.
And a lot of people disagree with me in the Rocket League community when it comes to this mindset of, Rocket League. But I always say, and I will always say, in order to win a game of Rocket League, you only need to score 1 goal. You only need 1 goal to win. And I cannot tell you how many games I've seen that have been won and lost by only 1 goal. And I think that's what the Puffins recognized here. They had the 1-goal lead for so long and just held on to it and ran out as much of the clock as they could. And then when they finally scored that go-ahead goal, it was just not enough time for the Wolves to counterattack and get the equalizer. So the Puffins definitely played a lot slower and a lot smarter that time around.
And you got to give huge props to the Wolves defense. They played very well in defense, really holding the Puffins to more goals than that could have really resulted in this game. And I think as a result, it goes back to what you said. I definitely like your 1-goal statement. But what also goes unsaid about that is the holding a 1-goal lead for so long, it makes the team get very antsy to want to push up the field. And as a result, we finally saw that happen. And the Wolves end up getting very caught out of position. Very double commits, a lot of double commits happening. And on the other side of the field is a quick counterattack for the Puffins. And again, that's what's going to happen if the Puffins continue with this monstrous iron wall, as you called it, in this game number 5.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I was just having my mind blown by the Puffins on defense because they're allowing the Wolves to get so close to their goal line and still miraculously holding it literally at the goal line. So many times I'm like, well, this is going to be a Wolves goal, but it wasn't. They just held firm and held strong on the defense, and I was just absolutely amazed the Wolves did not get more goals than they did in that last game.
And that's for sure. It's an understatement, to say the least, because again, it also goes back to the mentality side. It brings this anger and ability to rush and force shots from the Wolves, and as a result, they double commit a lot more than they're used to in the end of that game 4. And again, we're going to see if that will repeat in this game number 5.
And now this is it. This is game number 5, and they have 1 win on the series. But in order to get that minimum of the 2-3, they have to win right now. This is their chance, their last chance, and it's going to be Matt Rocci who's going to avoid the demo. Good awareness and good reaction from Matt on that play, as Lottie Lettuce is going to get the save and send this one back the other way. They get the advantage with the demo, looking for the flick, and goes right under. It's Lottie Lettuce who's going to put the team up by 1 early.
Oh, and I love this fake flick from Lottie. He realizes that Perma's going really high, and as a result, he goes for an early flick before the ball can get on his hood, which allows it to stay so close to the ground, and Perma's just forced to watch as he gets followed by Lottie.
Yep, and here we go, underway again, quick with the kickoff, just a minute gone now, and looking for the double touch was Lottie Lettuce. Didn't get it, but it's Matt Rocci who's going to break up the offensive pressure there as Perma sends this one into the corner, trying to keep the ball out of the possession of the Wolves, but with no boost for Lottie Lettuce, this ball is going to slow down in the mid-half, met by Perma, and another follow-up coming from Malakoa, and it's going to be Matt Rocci who gets the advantage. Fast break scoring opportunity maybe, and it's just going to roll right in. It's Matt Rocci extending the lead 2-0.
This might have been the first time we've actually seen a double commit from the Puffins this whole series. I mean, that's a great read from Matt. He reads the ceiling bounce much better than both of his opponents do, and leaves a wide open net. So if you're on this team, you want to build a cushion so that you can really lock off this division.
Now, if I was the Wolves in this scenario, I would start implementing that Iron Curtain defense, goal line defense that we've seen from the Puffins in the previous game. Not only did you have the goal lead, you have the 2-goal lead. Don't double commit, don't, push yourselves out of position. Maintain that defense. If you hold them here, you can hold them for the game and just make smart decisions. Not saying you shouldn't play offense. By all means, play offense, extend the lead where you can, but be smart about it. Take high percentage shots, take smart pass plays, and control the midfield. I think the Wolves can do it, and I think the people in the chat can agree that they can pull off this win here in game number 5. And a nice attempt there from Lottie Lettuce, and a bump off of Perma onto Matt Rocci. Lottie Lettuce takes advantage with a nice ball steal in the midfield, and it's Matt Rocci who's going to hit the touch here into the corner, and they're going to give a little time for Malakoa, and Lottie Lettuce just tees off the backboard. Matt Rocci with the follow-up touch, and here comes that Iron Curtain defense we were talking about coming from the Puffins.
Again, but the opportunity's still there. I mean, boost control and ball control remain on the side of the Wolves, which is just so good because you're stalling out the clock, like you said. Its ability to force bad challenges from the Puffins, as we saw the second goal was a bad challenge from the Puffins, and I think this is the first time this series we can both agree that the Puffins have really been caught out of position.
And I love that demo we just got from Matt Rocci. Well played on Malakoa. I've been watching Malakoa, and he's been picking off these Wolves back-to-back-to-back demos. So it's good to see Malakoa, get a little bit of taste of his own medicine. But that's going to be a goal there for Malakoa anyway. He's going to shake that one off. Shake off the demo. Go ahead and get yourself a goal. We're back within 1 for the Puffins.
Man, a little unfortunate. Lottie low on boost, and Perma just reads his clear. Sets it beautifully up for Malakoa, and that's a big goal because now it comes down to the Wolves. Will they have this Iron Curtain defense that we've seen from the Puffins all series?
This is it. And now, and again, don't sleep on offense. If you got the opportunity to score, do it, because that insurance lead is gone. Now you should go back to that play style that you've been doing before. Try and, create that pressure, and please avoid demos, Matt Rocci. As Matt Rocci now is going to go up with the dribble, but gets met by Perma as this one goes over to the side for Lottie Lettuce, who's going to go out into the corner for Perma, and a save from Lottie Lettuce. Way to hold up there on the defensive end. Malakoa going up, but again, can't get past Lottie Lettuce as this one goes down the field, met by Perma. That double push could cost them as this one goes towards the net, and Perma with the ceiling lead is going to tie this one up at 2.
And Matt Rocci gets very caught out of position. He realizes he's a little too far up, so as a result he thinks going for the ball is the play, but as a result he just ends up double committing, taking himself out of position instead of rotating back. And now it kind of feels like the Wolves have really thrown this lead away.
And it's still plenty of time for either team to take advantage. And, 1 minute to go If they do hold, both teams hold defensively, this could go into OT in game number 5. But let's see, as Perma is going to take this one off the back wall now, and is just going to let this one fall right back to Malakoa and into the midfield as Matt Rachi gets the misread off of the sidewall there, and then just pure aggression coming from Malakoa and a mistouch opportunity there as Matt Rachi takes the shot, and Malakoa gets demoed by Matt. And now Lottie Lettuce looking to get the go-ahead goal, and Lottie Lettuce leaves the defense wanting.
And finally, the chemistry pulls through. This is what Matt is supreme with, is demo setups, and he gets it there, makes Perma uncomfortable and just gives it away. And Lottie just says, hey, thank you very much. I'm a star striker, and he just gets a huge go-ahead goal. But again, never count this Puffins duo.
But guess what they just got? The insurance goal! It's Lottie Lettuce popping off right now. What a play! Coming off of the kickoff, getting there lightning quick and able to answer and catch the Puffins defense out of position and able to get the insurance goal with just over 30 seconds. This is looking even better for the Wolves, and now they have to hold on tighter than ever.
Yeah, and it feels like a little bit of a misfortune as Malco cheated up a little too far on that kickoff of the fourth goal by the Wolves, and now it's just going to be on them, but they might get one back here. They do, and no, I don't want to call a comeback too early, but it's definitely possible with this duo.
They just have to hold on, but I gotta say, beautiful play coming from the Puffins, taking advantage of the 2-1 scenario. Once again, they caught Matt Rachi out of defensive position and was able to take advantage of the 2-1 scenario, because either the person with the ball can either dribble or go for the pass, and it really was on Lottie Lettuce to kind of make a guess and hope for the best, and it did not turn out that way. They took advantage, and now they are back within one with 10 seconds, and they pick up the demo and equalize it. We are tied once again with 6 seconds left.
And I love this play from Malco. He's such known for going for these solo plays. And he says, you know what? I trust that they're not going to be ready for me to set up my teammate, and gives up the solo play to go for a great cross-field pass. And Perma, with probably one of the best strikers we've seen all season, no wonder he leads the league in MVPR. And they're going to be going into this overtime with all the momentum as they get 2 goals back.
This is it. This is really it for the Wolves. 1 goal separates you from at least meeting that bare minimum of the 2-3 that you needed coming into this match. 1 goal is going to be what it takes, and they're not going to get it. It will be the Puffins who's going to take the series 4-1. And what a way to go out. I'm pretty sure Malakoa was able to get that last-second bump on Lottie Lettuce.
I mean, you got to give it to this Puffins team. I mean, they played hard this whole series, and I think the Wolves did a good job responding. Those first 2 games, they were caught out of slow and with their pants down basically the whole first 2 games, out of position, behind the pace of the Puffins, and they picked it up great. They got that one big win in game number 3 and almost here, but the Puffins said, hey, no, we're the best, one of the best teams in this league, and you guys better be ready when we come to playoff time, as now the Puffins, they did not get the 5-0, so they won't be guaranteed a playoff spot. But again, although they have the Foxes, who is also in contention, has to win 5-0 now.
Yeah, and like we were saying, the Wolves weren't able to secure the division. They didn't meet the 2-3 requirement. They still played great, but with that being said, looking on the other side, what the Puffins did is that they weren't able to take the lead of the division, but they were able to stay in the race. They were able to stay in the race of the division by getting the 4-1 win. So they were able to come out, do what they needed to do, and execute it perfectly to get what they needed done. And unfortunately, the Wolves did not. But I gotta say, that was a tremendous amount of high-level play. It was absolutely fun to watch, and I'm a fan of the underdogs personally, so I was rooting for the Wolves a little bit on the inside, but I gotta say, they put up one heck of a fight, and well done by the Puffins. I already knew going in Perma was going to be popping off on that, but I was not aware that Malakoa was also going to be answering that in return. So again, that was just a beautiful series in all. Congratulations to the Puffins for the win, and congratulations on the Wolves for showing out in a major way. And I think that's gonna about wrap it up for you and I, Luke, as we got some more casters coming with some more MLE happening, with some more 2v2 Rocket League coming up in a little bit. I have been Captain Atsoka. It has been an absolute pleasure casting for you today. Luke, you got anything to say before we head out?
I mean, I just want to say this is just going to show how close this Premier League Blue Conference is going to be. I'm super excited for playoffs. We got the Wolves, we got the Puffins, we're probably going to have the Hurricanes as well, and I'm super excited to get to playoff time as that's only a couple weeks away.
Yeah, I gotta say, being from New Orleans, I'm not a huge fan of the Hurricanes, if you understand what I'm saying. But it's been, once again, an absolute pleasure. Thank everybody here for watching. We, as in Luke and I, are going to let the other casters hand it off as we move on, but don't you go anywhere. There is more minor league esports for you to watch, presented by APM Music.